I'm 100 years old. Not 90-something, not nearly 100, 100. I turned it in March. My granddaughter made a cake with 100 candles on it, and I told her that was excessive, and she laughed and lit every single one anyway. I blew them all out, every one. Now, I'm not telling you that to brag. I'm telling you that because what I'm about to say carries weight that it wouldn't carry coming from someone younger. I have watched my generation age. I have watched what happened to the ones who did it wrong, and I watched what happened to the ones, the rare ones, who seemed to do something different, something the rest of us missed. And I was paying attention. For 100 years, I was paying attention. My name doesn't matter. What matters is this: I am not in a nursing home. I am not in a wheelchair. I walked to my mailbox this morning. Slowly, I'll be honest with you, nothing about being 100 is fast. But I walked there. My mind is clear. I'm sitting here telling you this without notes, without help, without anyone putting words in my mouth. At 100. So when I tell you that almost everything you believe about aging is wrong, I need you to actually hear that. Not nod along and forget it by dinner. Hear it. Because the story most people tell themselves about getting old is a story about loss, about things leaving, strength leaving, memory leaving, independence leaving. You get older and you shrink. That's the story. You get older and the world gets smaller and you wait. That is not what happened to me, and I want to tell you why. I grew up during the Depression. I want you to understand what that means in practical terms. It means I never had the option of being soft with myself. Not as a child, not as a young woman, not ever. We worked, we moved, we didn't sit. There was no sitting. My mother would have looked at you like you'd lost your mind if you told her you were tired and needed to rest on the couch. I carried that with me my whole life. Not the hardship. I don't romanticize hardship, but the movement, the refusal to be still when I could be moving. I married at 22. My husband, Walter, worked in construction. We had 4 children in 7 years, which meant I never stopped moving either. There was always something, someone to feed, somewhere to be, something that needed doing. I didn't have a gym membership. I didn't have a wellness routine. I had a life that demanded my body show up every day, and my body learned to answer that demand. When Walter retired at 65, a lot of our friends retired everything. Retired from the yard work, from the heavy lifting, from the stairs when the elevator was right there. I watched it happen fast. Men who had been strong and capable, suddenly moving like they'd already decided they were old. Women who stopped cooking real food because it was just the 2 of them now. Walter and I talked about it. We made a decision, not written down, nothing formal, just between us, that we were going to refuse to retire from our own bodies. The turning point, the moment I understood this at a deeper level, came when I was 77. Walter had his hip replaced. Standard procedure, the doctor said, happens all the time. What they didn't tell us was how quickly a person can disappear into recovery. Walter came home, and the physical therapist said to take it easy, rest, don't push it. And Walter, who was the most stubborn man I have ever known in my life, listened. He rested, he took it easy, and something left him in those weeks, some spark, some insistence. He'd sit in the chair by the window, and I'd watch him get comfortable with sitting in a way he never had been before. He was back on his feet eventually, but he was slower after that, not because of the hip, because somewhere in those weeks of rest, his body got the message that slowing down was the new plan. He died at 83, his heart. I stood at his grave, and I made myself a promise. I was not going to get comfortable with stillness, not while I still had a choice. Here is what I do, what I have done for decades, and what I believe, genuinely believe, in my bones, is why I'm standing here at 100. I walk every single day. Not power walking, not a fitness routine, just outside, moving, for at least 30 minutes. Rain, cold, I don't care. I have walked in weather that would make younger people stay inside. The cold never hurt me. Staying inside did. I use my hands. Every day I do something with my hands, gardening when the season allows, knitting when it doesn't, cooking always, never from a package, real food, from scratch, the way I have always done it. Your hands connected to a task keep your brain connected to the world. The moment you stop using your hands for real things, something starts to go quiet upstairs. I have seen it too many times to doubt it. I sleep without compromise, 8 hours. I don't apologize for it. I don't cut it short for anything that isn't an emergency. Sleep is not laziness. Sleep is when your body files everything away, fixes what's broken, and prepares for tomorrow. I treated sleep like an appointment I could not miss, and I never missed it. And this one surprises people most. I never stopped having something to look forward to. Always something on the calendar. Not big things. I'm not talking about cruises and exotic travel. A friend coming for lunch. A new book arriving. A television program I was anticipating. Something small and specific, always within the next 2 weeks, that I was genuinely looking forward to. Small anticipation keeps you pointed forward. The people I watched give up, they stopped having something ahead of them. Nothing to anticipate, nothing coming. And without something coming, you start to drift backward, into memory, into regret, into waiting. Waiting is the most dangerous thing an old person can do. I am 100 years old. I blew out 100 candles. My granddaughter filmed it on her phone, and apparently a lot of people watched it, which is how I'm here talking to you now. Here is the last thing I want to say. the one I mean most. Aging is not something that happens to you. It's something you participate in every single day with every choice you make about movement and food and sleep and whether you have something to look forward to. You are participating right now, whether you know it or not. The question is, what kind of participant are you being? Because at 100, I can tell you with certainty, the body follows the decision, always. It took me a lifetime to understand that the decision comes first. What decision are you making today?